Dude, you can think anything and whatever you want, but those clouds are not real. I was looking at them, and I was looking at those airplane things that I always thought maybe you already knew this. Maybe, like, I know, I am aware of the conspiracies that are all out there about like airplanes and the fumes that they're giving or whatever, but I never really paid much attention to it. I never really like went and dived into it. I did know that it was like a theory, or like some, I don't even know if it's a theory anymore, like something real that is happening. But I was sitting outside and I started looking at the clouds. I started looking at the clouds and at the shape of them and stuff. And I was like, something is fishy. I don't know. Then I started to look at the airplanes that are flying by, and there were multiple, and everywhere I looked, there were airplanes flying with those fume thingies behind them. And I was looking at them, and then I was looking at the ones that were already like pretty, that they were already there for a long while already, and they started to like spread out and become what I thought was a cloud, but it wasn't a cloud. It was just that thing, like that line of thing, like spreading out more and more. And everywhere I looked, there were multiple of them. They didn't stop. And you could see like really long lines, and how they were like becoming clouds and stuff. And they were like everywhere. They were everywhere. And what I thought were clouds, what I was looking at that I thought were clouds, were not clouds. And I am not saying that every single cloud is that thing, but today, if there weren't any of those, if there weren't any of those airplane fume thingies, then it would be like a clear sky today, because the sun is out. The like it's nice weather today. It's nice weather. It's like there is actually no need for any clouds. You know what I mean? Like there is no clouds. It's not gonna rain. Like there is no clouds. You know what I mean? But what I thought were clouds are those things spreading the things. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe you already knew this. Maybe I'm new to this. But those clouds are not real. What I thought were clouds are not clouds. And it just keeps going. Like, I can probably go outside right now again and see those airplanes everywhere. And also in the beginning, like when I started to look at it, there's no coincidence, but in that moment there was an, like, just an airplane, like an actual, like, how do you say that, for passengers, airplane was passing by, and it didn't have any of that fucking fume thingy spreading out of its asshole, you know. It was just flying by. And right next to it there were like two other airplanes, but with the fumes like going, you know what I mean. And I was like, wait a minute. And then I was looking around, and there were like like a lot more of those things, and there were none of those other things. Who is calling me? I don't know who is calling me, but someone is calling me. I might call them later. I'm not gonna let this stray me away from what I want to say. It's not important though. It's a mobile number, and I don't have them saved. So anyway, um, so yeah, I'm not saying that none of these clouds that we're seeing are like these fume thingies, but for today, it's really strange that there are clouds. And then when I was seeing what they actually were, it was just those fumes. And it's like coming down on us, I guess, right? It's like we're breeding those motherfucking shits that they're spreading. And also, I was looking at a plane thingy with those fume things. It was like higher up, and for some reason, it really looked like, you know, when you have like a jet ski or like this, I think it's called a jet ski on the water, and it's like riding, and like from behind of it, like you can see the water like spread. It's like spreading like this, right? Like, you know what I mean? There's like this line that you know that the jet ski like passed through because it's like white, and then there's this line there. You know what I mean? When they're like on the water, that's exactly what it looked like. It looked like water spreading out, and like there's a jet ski or something, and I'm like seeing it from in the sky and stuff, you know? And it's a thing, same thing that I was like thinking of this morning because I was looking at the star, and I was like, I never really like noticed fully how the stars are like shimmering, you know, like as if something is underwater or something, you know? I was looking at the star and I was like, huh, they don't shine, like they don't shine constantly. They're like flickering. They're like shimmering, you know, like when something is in the water and it's like reflecting. You know what I mean? I hope you know what I mean. I just wanted to say that. I just wanted to share this little piece of information because I was just looking at them and I was like, what are we inhaling? What is this? And it's like probably a lot more people know this already, and I just now actually realized it because again I am aware of this theory thing, and maybe you have seen it in your feed here and there too, but I've seen it in my feed here and there about the airplanes and their fumes and the things that they spread, but I never really went deep into it or like listened to it fully. And today I was just outside, you know, meditating, catching the sun in my face and in me. And when I opened my eyes, I just looked up in the sky like I was just having the sun, but then I just decided to look up in the sky, and then I started seeing the clouds, and then I saw the airplane, and then I saw the other airplane, and then I was like, what the fuck is going on? Why are these clouds coming from the fucking airplane? Isn't it supposed to just like be there or something, you know? Like now I'm questioning everything. Now I'm questioning clouds in general, and now I'm questioning the weather, you know? It's like, girl, think about it. Like just think about everything for a second. You know what I mean? It's like just think about it. Just think about everything for a second. Just think about everything for a second. And I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I do feel like, you know, a little like, ooh, like, oh my god, like, what is happening? Like, are you losing your reality or something? But then you start seeing things. Like, I'm like, yesterday I was so, like, because I'm like, dude, they want you to have student debt. So when you finish studying and then you realize that you can't even pay it off because now you have a diploma but there's no jobs anywhere, no one wants to take you, and then you end up just working at a supermarket or like at a store or whatever, or at a job that you don't even want to work at, and you're like slaving away working 36-40 hours a week and not even having enough money, and you have to work that job because you have to pay off your student debt, you know? like like 2 days ago or something, I was looking at this documentary thing of how many people are fucked by student debt, and how they are like living in other countries and not here in the Netherlands, and they um how the place that gave them lent them the money, like the student thing, they I'm sorry, I'm getting called again, but they blocked their passport, so it's like scary shit, you know. And I was just getting angry and frustrated about it because a lot of people are going through this. A lot of people have student debt. I went to see how much mine is. I actually got a lot of it taken off because I couldn't keep on studying because of mental health. And I saw that it like went up because of the rent. I think it's called, you know, like it went up by like a couple of percentages, and now I have 10K in student debt, and all I want to do is just pay that off and just I just want to like literally I am gonna be traveling around. I want to have a car, like a van or something, like a bus or some shit, and just travel around. I'm in Europe, you know. I want to be traveling around, but I also just don't want to be worrying about the financial part. I literally just want to it's my it's my right as a human being to just do whatever the fuck I want. It's my right. It's not I do not want to do something that I just don't want to do. Why do I have to do something that I don't have to do? Like work at a place that I just don't want to work at, slave my life away because I have to work to have a roof over my head, and then also barely because you barely have a roof over your head, because here I know for sure a lot of people are just living in little boxes and paying shit ton of tons of rent. So you're living in a tiny ass little shoebox. Your rent is like half of your salary already, and then you have to buy groceries, survive. You have to have clothes. You have to have like a social life and also hobbies and just a bunch of shit. You know what I mean? Like, and then not have any time over for yourself, or you know, not have enough money to go on vacation or something, or like to travel or to do things. So you're just working to pay off these things. You probably have like school debt too, or like you're paying a mortgage or something, so you're like working to pay off something, and it's like running after you every single day, you know. It's like I refuse, ma'am, I don't want. No, you know. I think as humans we're allowed to fuck off sometimes, you know, like just be like, nope. Why are we learned? Why are we taught that we're allowed to say no to things, but we're like we can't say no to being a modern slave? You know, I don't understand. Well, I say no right now. I say no. This is my resignation letter. I say no. I am gonna be traveling around. I'm gonna be looking and experiencing new things and not being a rat in a cage on a treadmill or some shit. I refuse. I am leaving. I'm opening the cage and I am exploring. Is it scary? Yes, but scary things are always beautiful. Depends what it is, by the way. Like, depends what it is. But yeah, this is my leap of faith. I jump because no, mm-mm. We cannot live like this any longer. No, mm-mm. 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 And I am really grateful for everything that I have in my life. Really, really grateful. But I allow myself right now. I no. I am gonna live. I am gonna live. I am gonna live. I am gonna live. And I am grateful and I appreciate the fact that, you know, like sometimes keep thinking, oh, I'm behind and I'm this and I'm that. But I'm really grateful that I realize right now and not later that I just don't want to live what I thought that I was supposed to do. I was a really school driven person. I was school and work. Those were the main important things, because I had to work to gain that money, and I had to go to work to be able to have the diploma to keep gaining that money. I was studying to become a lawyer and stuff, you know? That was my goal. That was my goal, you know? That was my goal, to be in the juridis, like, how do you say that? Like, in the law department, you know? And then I was like, this is not giving me any pleasure, nothing. I'm like, doing this, I'm going to school, but my mental health is going, and I don't feel any pleasures, you know? And then I signed up to study archaeology. That didn't work out. So I was like, you know what? We're gonna work, you know? So I was like, we're gonna work. And I started to work, and I worked, and I got a really good job afterwards. But mental breakdown, and I have been unemployed since last year, like 2024, January 2024. And luckily I was able to be keep getting paid from the job, um but soon I am gonna go completely on sick leave. Like, I'm already getting like the money, like it's called sick leave money. You get it for 2 years, and then you get transferred to this other thing that is like actual sick leave thing from the thing itself. I don't know, I can even just Google it, sick leave in the Netherlands, and you'll see, you know, like it's called WIA. WIA. It's called that, I think. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, and to be frankly honest with you, I don't want to be dependent on that anymore. I don't. And you know, we all do desperate things sometimes to be able to be free from all of it, but I am just gonna trust. I'm just gonna be trusting. And I know everything will be okay. It's just I don't want to be dependent on all these things, because I have to be able to go to therapy. I have to go to therapy for them to see that I am like doing something for my mental health, so I can report to them every 8 weeks. They call me, and sometimes it's even less, 6 weeks or something, to let them know how it's going, and for them to keep paying me, or for them to keep telling me, like, for them to tell me like, oh, you can like start working again, you know, like you can start working like once a week or twice a week and stuff. And I don't want that anymore. I feel like I have so many people on my head, because for them their only job is to fix my mental health, and for me to start working again. That's their only job. They're on me, they're giving me money, but only so I can eventually go work again, because I have, like, that's the whole purpose here. That's your whole purpose in life, is to be a worker. You have to be a worker. You have to be a worker. You have to work. If you don't work, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? You're lazy. That's why you don't have a house, and that's why you live wherever the fuck you're living, because you're not working. You're lazy. What are you doing? Lazy, 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 lazy. What do you mean? What do you mean, are you resting? And I am not even resting properly, because every day I feel guilty. Every day I feel guilty for even sleeping. I feel guilty for just sitting. I feel guilty for doing anything with myself that has nothing to do with generating income. I feel guilty. And I don't want to feel like that. I want to have my amaka. I don't know how you call that, but the thing that you put on two palm trees. I want to be like there on mi amaka and just chill and listen to birds and like swing like this and have the beach, the sound of the waves coming. You know, I want to be traveling anywhere. I wanna first, I tell you, the first thing I will do is go to Curacao, visit my mom and my sisters and my beautiful nephew that I haven't even met yet. I haven't even touched him. I haven't smelled him. I don't know what he smells like. And my other nephew that is already 4. He can already talk. And last time I saw him, he couldn't talk. He was 8 months old. I want to be able to do that. I don't want to be a worker. I don't want to be dependent on this system thing. I want to do things for myself. I want to do things for myself. This world, what is happening right now, it's not, it's no. I refuse. No. I refuse. And I know it's like difficult always to like get out of it, you know. Everything is hard to get out of when it like has to do with like being a modern slave, you know. You're a slave, so you're dependent on them, you know? But I get out. I am, you know, because those motherfucking clouds, they're not real, bro.